Before India's independence, World War II was happening. Violence seemed to always be the answer to everything, but according to Gandhi, violence will tear us apart. Following the political involvement that eventually led to India's independence, we must also consider the impact that peasants had in Indian history. However, other movements contributed greatly. Two renowned mentions include the Blue Mutiny of 1859 and the formation of the All India Kisan Sabha. There are other historical events involving the peasants' determination to make India better, but these are only a small part of India's success. Mahatma Gandhi, an activist, guided India with his leadership skills and non-violent political movements. As dissatisfaction increased from the Rowlatt Acts, he decided that peaceful non-cooperation would do best against British rule. However, Gandhi did not work alone. He worked with two Muslim brothers. Their movement came to be known as the Caliphate movement, which helped communicate the idea of protesting through peaceful means against the British. During one of their peaceful protests in a Sikh temple in Amritsar, the British opened fire in response, killing more than 300 Indians. This came to be known as the Jallianwala Bagh massacre of 1919. Their non-violent movements continued as more Indians of different kinds of backgrounds began to join in. In the 1920s, Gandhi became the president of the Congress and used his advantage to spread his ideas of resistance in politics. Things started to turn around in 1922 when a small revolt in a town in Chari Chara, Uttar Pradesh became brutal. 17 Indian police officers assigned by the colonial state were killed in the process. Immediately, Gandhi discontinued the movement. Following this, he then changed his political plans in India, creating new and effective ways of peaceful protest. By the time of 1929, Gandhi was once again engaged in political activism. However, it did not only circulate along independence, as he considered other issues as well. This included poverty, which enraged many. Other issues concerned the British action of taxation on salt. Gandhi arranged a resistance against the taxed item. He did this by marching from the city of Ahmedabad, Gujarat, to the seaside town of Dandi. This became famously known as the Salt March. Gandhi continued the march on the 241-mile road that led to the ocean. He boiled the water and retrieved his own salt, instead of buying the same taxed item by the British. As shown, the women are boiling the seawater they collected to get some salt. Among the 78 people who joined him in his march, Sarojini Naidu was one of them. She was a female nationalist who was well known for her heartfelt speeches and poetry. Gandhi was arrested after the Salt March, but calls for independence only grew louder. In 1930, public participation increased in civil disobedience movement, in which the Indians refused to obey laws that seemed unjust. Bhimrao Ambedkar, a Dalit, was provided with many opportunities that are not usually provided for Dalits because of his high intellect and potential. He received his PhD in economics from Columbia University in New York and the London School of Economics. When Ambedkar traveled back to India with his degrees and aspiration of beginning a legal practice, he faced caste prejudice. Ambedkar criticized Gandhi's prominence on social harmony, claiming that Dalits would continue to face persecution from the caste system. To discuss the matter of self-government and representation, Indian political leaders were invited to London. In that discussion, Ambedkar won separate votes from a certain area for Dalits. However, Gandhi believed that a separate vote for Dalits would result in a division. Since Ambedkar wouldn't back down easily, Gandhi decided to abstain from food and nourishment, forcing Ambedkar to step down and keep away from the responsibility of Gandhi's fast. The Government of India Act of 1935 was passed when the many leaders of India and political parties were able to compromise on the basic occupants of Indian elections. Under this act, representatives were given government responsibilities, but the colonial states could take back power anytime. Congress, the Muslim League, and local parties competed for power in the 1937 election. In 1916, the Muslim League was significant during the Lucknow Pact. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, a lawyer, politician, and leader of the All-Indian Muslim League, began his career in Bombay. In 1940, Jinnah wanted a separate country for Muslims, which is stated in the Lahore Resolution. He desired a separate country in areas with many Muslims, like Punjab and Bengal. He felt that India only had two states, Hindu and Muslim. In 1942, the colonial men wanted Indians to serve in World War II, which breached the Congress and Muslim League. Gandhi responded with his Quit India campaign, wanting the British out of India for good. The British then arrested the Congress. However, the Muslim League saw the relationship with the colonial state, which would give them an advantage of having more influence than it earned in other elections. The history of India is quite interesting, but this is only a small discovery in our world today.